Welcome to Safety is an Illusion podcast. This is season 3, episode 1. We have the founder of Interrupt here. We did an interview with him and we got to know him a little bit, as well as the questions that we all wanted to know. What is going on with Interrupt? So I'm going to play the whole interview now, and at the end of the interview, I'm going to talk and share my opinions and my thoughts of this. We're currently recording. How you doing today? Nice to meet you, Eddie.
Nice to meet you, Ghost.
So I'm going to get right into the questions here, and I want to get to know a little bit about you and your history. First question
Sure.
I have here is: can you share a little about yourself and what inspired you to start Interrupt?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm a family man. I have a wife and 3 kids, and I'm about 46, I think. Yeah, 46. I've been in IT for a long time. I've been working for the same company for about 20 years now, but I've been doing IT since I was early teens. Early teens. I really enjoy tinkering with things.
Yeah, that's good. Because I'm kind of in the same space too. I mean, I'm fairly new when it comes to the pen testing of gadgets. Been doing this for a couple of years myself. But I went to school for IT. I finally got a help desk job maybe like almost 3 years ago. And it's just tough to get jobs in this space. So it's cool to see that you've been in this space for a while. And you've probably seen a lot of changes since you started.
A lot of changes. Yeah, it's not at all the same that it used to be. And some of that's AI and some of it's just that, when I was growing up, uh, they didn't have college courses for IT. It was that new. So I think some of it's just kind of, there's a lot of people getting into IT. Some of it's AI. Some of it's just the ease that they've made sysadmin. They've made it a whole lot easier than it used to be, and so it doesn't require quite as much.
Yeah, I graduated college back in 2016, and they were just getting into like cybersecurity classes, and they just
Uh-huh.
started a networking program when I was in there. What got you into hacking, pen testing, or hardware development in the first place?
Well, so I've always kind of been into hacking. When I was growing up, they had bulletin boards, and me and my buddies would get on bulletin board, mess around with those. And when I was in school, I had gotten in trouble several times in school for getting onto their computers and changing my grades. I wasn't good at it, and it's actually very easy to do, but and almost immediately got caught. I think I went from a D student to an A student overnight, and so it was pretty easy to figure to figure out what was going on. But one of the things we would do is we would get those. And I forget what they're called, but um, I think they're called blue boxes. They may be black boxes. I can't remember, but you would create a circuit, and basically it would play a frequency. I think it was 2600 megahertz. It would play a frequency, and you'd hold it up to a payphone, and it would allow you to make free phone calls. Um, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I don't want to say on an interview that I did all that,
Yeah,
but
you part out, but the earlier days
no,
of
you're
hacking and
fine.
stuff. So you got right in there with the phone spoofing and hacking. It's from if stuff you see in this old school movies and stuff too. Like you were there doing
Yeah,
that
well,
stuff.
and Yeah, well, and when I was growing up, those movies were popular, and so a lot of the stuff, honestly, we just learned from the movies. I mean, um, they didn't hide a whole lot. I mean, it was pretty easy to figure out just from the movies.
Do you have one in particular that stands out to you?
Well, so the one I really that I would say probably uh, got me into it was sneakers. Um, I think Robert Redford was in that. But then, hackers came along, and trying to think if there was any others.
How many people are working behind the scenes, and what roles are they involved in bringing Interrupt to life?
Well, yeah. So the way this started was I had developed a prototype, and I took it to an investor, and the investor really liked it, liked the idea, and his IT liked it, and so they backed the project, which basically was to get it to where we could launch a Kickstarter and secure funding so that we could get it manufactured. Now since then, I've got we've hired a company to help us get it manufactured and get it to you guys. And that company, they have one guy working on the PCB layout. They've got one guy working on the firmware. They've got one guy working on the enclosure, a project manager. We've also got Michael, who's been a huge help, and he helps us with Discord stuff. He responds to a lot of the questions and
Okay.
that sort of thing.
So he's kind of like the PR guy, basically.
Kind of, yeah, yeah.
All right. So now get into the more difficult questions. Why has it been so difficult to provide with more frequent images and update videos of the device?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, to me, I don't. So I get that. That's kind of that's kind of the battle right now between the community and me, and I think like I get what everybody is saying. We had a prototype that we had sent off to this engineering firm. Actually, we sent it off to the original engineering firm that didn't end up working out, but and then we sent it off to the second engineering firm. And basically, what we're doing is we're just going back through everything with a fine tooth comb, just making sure that it works the way we want it to, and that it's a good product. We had several images and pictures and videos from the Kickstarter or for the Kickstarter, and then after that, we shipped it off, and we don't really have access to it. I think they took it apart and did some things to it. Um, and really, I don't really want any more images or videos of it out there until we have something that's going to be closer to the final product. And I think the issue with the updates is that right now people are just we've got our heads down, we're working on it, and we're trying to get back up to that prototype stage, even though it'll be past the prototype. But we're just trying to get to where we have something we can show off, um, that we can demonstrate, and then let you guys have at it.
Oh, now I know you understand the frustration in the community, but a lot of the backers feel updates are often sparse and vague. How do you plan on
Sure.
improving communication going forward?
Well, and let me just address that. So the updates, they are sparse and vague, and that is simply because we just don't have a lot to update right now. Like there's just not a whole lot of change from week to week. Now we're getting past that stage, and we're getting to where there will be a lot more updates and a lot more things we can show off. But this first we'll just call it phase, is really uneventful and really hard to come up with things to update. And I hate putting out there stupid updates, because that's one of the things that always bugged me, um, with stupid updates. But and we have. I'm not going to say we haven't put stupid updates out. We have, but it just. I think those updates are more just letting everybody know we're still here, we're still working on it. But as far as substance, and as far as things that I think you guys will enjoy, we just haven't had a whole lot of that stuff yet. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
What makes Interrupt stand out compared to other pen testing or hacking tools in the market?
For me, the draw was Linux. And deal with first off, I don't want to talk bad about the Flipper at all. I love that gadget, and I want our device to be as close to that as possible. But for me, I really love Linux, and I love being able to do things in Linux. I don't want to say I think you and I have even talked about this before. I don't want to say it's an introductory device, but maybe a mid-tier
I agree.
device.
Yeah, it's something in between
Yeah.
where, like, for me, because I did a lot of pen testing gadgets. I have over 800 videos now, and then I want to get into more free and available tools that are also the real world tools. And this bridges the gap a little bit to me because you have the Flipper like experience, and then you have the Linux capabilities using things like Metasploit and other Linux tools that I'm becoming familiar with, and I think that would be a good gap. When I first initially heard about your device, that was my initial thought, like, oh, this is the perfect in between. We can move on to more real world stuff and not just hardware hacking fun tools. You know what I mean? So I think that's what sparked my interest, and I think that's what you're trying to say right now, right?
No, absolutely. I think you're exactly right. I think that in between right there, it's not going to do everything that a Proxmark 3 is going to do. You know what I mean? It's not specialized like that. It's more like the Flipper, sort of an all-in-one with Linux. And I'm hoping, as the device grows, there'll be more things we can add to it, and actually, I'm very excited to see what everybody kind of does with it. But yeah, I think later on down the line there'll be time for maybe stepping into doing more specialized type devices. But right now, for our first device, it's a good in between. It has Linux, and I think, at least for me, I know I wanted a device like this just simply even just to learn about Linux and learn about sub gigahertz and NFC and that's sort of what we were aiming for with this one.
Yeah, a device that does a little bit of everything. Discover what you like the most, and that's another thought when I saw the device when I first saw it. So, the next question: what's the realistic timeline for final production? What can the community expect next?
There is going to be some delays. Right now, we're looking at December and January, and I know that's going to let some people down. We're doing our best, but there are so many things we're running up against that this is our first device, and we're just running up against things that we just did not expect. And so that's right now. That's what the time frame is.
Long term, where do you see Interrupt fitting in the broader pen testing and cybersecurity space?
I would love for Interrupt to be a go-to tool that everybody uses. I would love for it to be, popular like the Flipper and be as useful as the Flipper. I think a lot's going to depend on just how this first product goes. My personal goal is to keep going, and once the Interrupt's done and we've got it out there, and my personal goal is to start on the next device, whether that be Interrupt version 2 or something different that's more specialized, kind of like we were just talking about. I don't know yet, but that's sort of the goal with Interrupt Tech is to keep going, and I'm just putting out more products that I myself would find useful, and hopefully other people will find useful as well.
Yeah, and that's nothing like too different from what you see around there. I mean, we're very familiar with Zero Trace. They started with one device and they branched out to a couple other ones. On the Diabolic drive, they have the Diabolic Parasite that's currently still not fully out released yet, but you see other companies, they start with something and they build off of something that they already have and make something different. So I see exactly what you're coming from. So you have other things planned in the future as well. So this is just the first step, the gateway into Interrupt.
Yeah. This is our stepping stone to getting in the market and hopefully making an impact.
So, all right. So now we get into the fun questions. These are the fun ones. What has been the most rewarding part of building Interrupt so far?
Several things, actually. One, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, Ghost, and getting to know other people in this community. Also, personally for me, setting a goal and going out and accomplish it, that's been huge for me. I mean, if you had to talk to me 2 years or 3 years ago, I would have been like, you're joking. There's no way that's possible. There's no way you could get that accomplished. But I'm doing it, and actually we're doing it, and that's been very rewarding. Mainly just those two things. Really, I enjoy people. I don't know if I would consider myself an extrovert, but I love getting to know people and I love talking with people. And so that's been huge with me. It's just getting to know everybody.
And now the last question. Now this one, I'm going to give you some time to answer this one because this is something I want you to directly talk. I know we don't have as much updates and there's very sparse and there's just not a lot to talk about because like you said, there's just a lot of stuff in the background that hasn't been really finalized yet and you guys are working on it. So take this opportunity to answer all those people in the Discord, all the people online questioning the device. And again, coming from a background, and I've only been in this space for, like I said, a year and a half, and there's been a lot of fake devices out there the community has been burned multiple times when it comes to Kickstarters and scams and stuff like that. So they're already on the defense. To so this question was loaded. So I want you to take some time to answer this and talk directly to your backers and supporters. Is there anything you would like to say directly to the backers and community who supported this journey?
Well, for one, we're just blown away by the support. It means a lot to me, and I'm only talking about myself. What it does for me is it makes me want to ensure that I deliver a good product for them, because the faith that they put in this company is huge. And also, just sorry to touch on the same subject, but just like getting to know you, getting to know other people in this community, it really makes me want to deliver a product that they love. And that's what I'm doing my best to do. What I want to say specifically to the backers is thank you so much for your support. And we're getting it done. And I know that there have been some products out there that have been scams and have burned the community. And what that does for us is it just makes us have to step our game up. And that's okay. I mean, we don't mind. No, there have been some companies that have absolutely burned this community, and we are not one of those companies. We are getting this product made, and we're going to make the backers happy. That's what we aim to do.
And just, I know we talked about this previously, and I know this is not really a question I had saved or anything, but just the fact of it, maybe even just expressing a little bit of what's going on in the background, back in the pulse, right? Hey, I'm still here. Hey, I'm still working on it. I know you don't want to show images yet, but it may be beneficial to even to show, even if it's an image that like, hey, you know what, we remodeled the whole thing yesterday and we changed this, we changed that. Maybe it's good to show that. Like maybe the way you're viewing it is, oh, this is not real updates. It's not what's set in stone. I think people would like, and coming from someone that watched the BLE Shark Nano, all the obstacles they had to face, all the change, last minute thing, and they went through a lot, but they were transparent about it and made people comfortable through the whole transition. And I think maybe if that was going on here, and I really believe I really want this to become something. I really think it's a really good device where it can give you a little bit of everything. A lot of pen testing gadgets out there, and what sets these pen testing gadgets apart is how what's their niche, what is unique about it. And this uniqueness is that it touches a little bit of everything, and it gets you into the actual Linux tools, and that was my initial thought. So I just think that being a little bit transparent, even if it's just something small, pictures. I mean, it's image is 1,000 words, right? Like you don't have. I just think that as just some advice from someone that's been in here and watched Kickstarters, and I felt uncertainty, and then I feel responsibility as a creator myself to make sure I'm not misleading people anyway, and I don't want to mislead anybody. That's not my goal. I'm here to help and try to help everybody, not just the community, businesses, but the community comes first for me. So to make sure that the companies are transparent, especially the ones that we support, that's why it's very important to me. So I just think that just doing that little bit will make a giant difference. And is that something that you guys could do?
Oh, 100%. And Ghost, I do not want to take advantage of you at all. And I promise you, I will do everything I can to make sure that I really do want to earn the trust. And maybe I just need to, I think you're exactly right. I'm overthinking things, I think. And I probably need to be more just update with the little things, update with the images and the pictures that maybe to me don't mean anything, but maybe to you guys do. And I promise I will try harder on that. I really will. I really have appreciated everything that you've done for us.
I just think that once we start seeing that, you're at the better, you're getting to the final stages, right? You finally got the companies that you needed behind you, the right engineers this time around. So I think people are going to start seeing actual updates that you would say soon. I would think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to say anything. I don't know if this is on or off the record, but between you and me, we're getting there. We're really close. We're to having at least something we can show off. We're close. And that's what I've got another call about tomorrow. And I'll be able to hopefully put down some, hopefully be able to say, okay, by here is when we're going to have something we can show. And so absolutely.
All right. Well, you know what? I tortured you enough thank you very much for
No,
coming
this is
on.
great. This is great.
I appreciate it. The community is going to appreciate this interview too. I'm going to edit this up and then have it ready for the October event. So I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you very much again for coming and just speaking with the community and your backers. It means a lot. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to them too. So I just really do appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's it for this interview. So my takes from this is that they just seems like they feel like as if they don't have enough to share with us. But on the other side of this, as a backer or somebody that wants to believe in the product, when they're not giving us updates, it kind of looks suspicious, right? So at this point, actions speak louder than words. I'm really rooting for them. It was nice talking to them and getting to know them a little bit. But again, just the actions will speak louder. I think that they are at a turning point where I think we're going to see actual updates because now they got all their background stuff pretty much set up and figured out. I think maybe we'll finally start seeing some images. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. And they agreed that they're going to do that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this, please leave a like. Help support the channel. And do me a favor and remember, safety is an illusion.